Hello and welcome back everybody to our playthrough of Dark Souls 1. Today we are gonna kill a puppy and it will be really sad. So it's actually been a while since I recorded. I had a pretty busy week, so it's been like 10 days since my last recording session, so I'm kinda behind schedule. I had hoped to finish the playthrough before New Year's. But that's getting kinda close. But during the holidays I actually have a lot of free time to record, so it shouldn't be that big of a problem. So after last episode I off camera bought the Quest of Artorias, so we could take a little shortcut in the level that's coming up. Yeah, there's something I wanted to talk about the upcoming boss. If you do the DLC first, you actually get a special cutscene with the upcoming boss. That's which I would really have liked to show off, but you can't get that cutscene and meet Darkstalker Darkstalker something, and he's a pretty important NPC to the goodbye item. Pretty important NPC to the story, so I'd rather show him off than the cutscene with the puppy. I guess you could look it up. There's tons of videos of it on YouTube. So yeah, remember when these guys gave us trouble? Ha, fun times. Yeah, that's like, because Dark Souls involves a lot of backtracking, you get a really big sense of progression. You really feel how much your character has grown. So here is where the Quest of Artorias goes. Alrighty. And from here it's pretty much a straight path to the boss. But there are some NPC enemies that I have to be wary of. There are a few items scattered about, but I don't think there's anything lore significant. So we will skip over most of the stuff. So we'll try to stay left, and the first dude is already here. As you see, he's kind of invisible. Wow. That's because he has the wing, what's it called, equipped? Can't remember the name off the top of my head. Once again we see how overpowered backstabs are in PvP encounters. So these guys are actually part of the Forest Hunter Covenant, and they guard Artorias' grave, which we wanna rob. And guarding the grave seems noble in some respect, but most of these people are just thugs that joined the Forest Hunter Covenant. Damn, you annoying. God damn it, I hate casters. Human enemy casters are even worse. Just die, come on. Don't cast, I swear. Most of these fuckers are just fucks, that's what I wanted to say. Just joined the Hunter Covenant for its rewards. Maybe the thrill of hunting other humans, who knows. Yeah, originally, the original release of the game, you couldn't lock onto the enemies that wore the Obscuring Ring. Genau, Ring, Ring of Obscuring Fog is its name. Yeah, I remembered this being a lot harder. I guess I usually do this a little earlier. Well, no, we already did Anolondo. Like, or whether we didn't do anything else besides Anolondo. There's no real reason to come here before Anolondo. Well, I guess if you wanna become a dark wave early, you can come here. Is this where I wanna be? Yes. Yeah, there would be a whole lot to explore over there. Maybe I'll do it after the boss. To end the episode, we'll explore the forest plains or something like that. Whoa. 10,000 souls already. How much do I need to level up? Ah yeah, in this game you can't look that up, eh? Alright then, here we have... Oh, what's her name? I forgot. She'll tell us.
Is it not so that thou art new? Thou fared well to find me. But cometh thee not for the grave of Sir Artorius? My advice true. Forget this. The legend of Artorius art none but a fabrication. Traversing the dark. 'Tis but a fairy tale. Have thine own respect. Go not yonder knocking for nothing, I say.
Oh, once again with these yes and no questions. And something that I wanted to point out, if you listen closely to her audio track, while she's talking, you can also hear some kind of angry cat snoring about. So she obviously doesn't want us to go any further, because she is the leader of the Forest Hunter Covenant, and she really wants to protect Artorias' grave, even going so far as telling us the lie that it does not exist. And yes, usually you would want to go here after hearing the rumors of Artorias the Abyss Walker, because you need the ability of Abyss Walking. So that's why she brought that up, about how traversing the dark is just a fairy tale, which obviously is once again a lie. And yeah, I can't remember what she asked, like, or whether her question was so complicated I couldn't answer with yes or no. So once again it's a 50-50 choice. I guess we are gonna say yes.
Well, indeed, thou art a strange one. Nevertheless, I feel some liking for thee. I'm Alvina of the Darkroot Wood. I command a clan of hunters who track down defilers of the forest groves. What dost thou say? Wilt thou not join us? Oh, yes, I believe we would suit thee well.
If I remember correctly, we are part of the Daughter of Chaos Covenant right now, but we haven't invested any resources into it yet, so it shouldn't be a big deal to switch. And I actually want to switch because then I get to show off an NPC. It only spawns if you join, I believe, something along those lines. Yes, I will join.
I am very glad. And now thou art one of us. Let us establish a covenant. And here taketh this ring.
So yeah, while you are wearing this ring, I'll talk about it after this.
It allows for thine summoning.
Oh, she'll talk about
if
it.
mine senses reveal intruders, I will summon thee. Fend them off, sir. I beseech only this. I shall summon others who will, by their honor, work tirelessly with thee. Thou shalt receive great reward, and whatsoever ye shall pillage will be mine own. A true agreement, not so? But thou must heed the golden rule. The clan is thine own family. To thine kinsmen forever stay true. Darest not in any attempt to double-cross. Have no doubt, such wretchedness never will we tolerate.
Alright, Alvina.
Ah, thou dost cometh. How fares ye? My hopes for thee are of the highest. Do not such a hope shatter with foul disproportion. Ah, my hopes for...
Yeah, so Alvina here actually was buddy-buddy with Aldatorius. Well, I guess it's been a while, so I'll read Artorius' ring description. So we remember who he was. One of the special wings granted to the 4 Knights of Gwyn. The wolf wing belongs to Artorius, the Abyss Walker. Artorius had an unbendable will of steel and was unmatched with a greatsword. I think that's all we have of him. The Cat Covenant ring. The white cat Alvina speaks a human tongue and has lived since the early age of fire. Alvina was a trusted friend of Knight Artorius and the Great Wolf Sith. And I don't know if they already... yeah, he's born. And now these forest hunters that attacked us previously should be friendly NPCs now. And if you look carefully, you actually can see that this guy here has a ninja bodyguard over here. If you kill the ninja guy, you get the backflip ring, which was pretty overpowered in the early game builds. So you had a lot of full Havel set wearing backflip dudes here in the forest.
I've heard all about you. I'm Shiva of the East, captain of the brigade. Let's teach you the clan basics now, as there's no time to chat in the midst of fighting. Except there is little in the form of rules, you hear? Fight and hunt as you like. Whoever's fastest gets the prey. That's the way we do it. Only, don't forget what Alvina said. Traitors aren't given a second chance, for any reason. That's about it then. Don't worry. It's a good old time, isn't it? Great to have you with us. Good hunting to you. Ah, did you notice that one? Sharp eyes? He is one of the clan from the east, like myself. Always slinking in the shadows. But he is a tough one. You'll see what I mean. Don't worry now. You'll be called in soon enough. Hunters with patience score the best kills.
So I guess he won't sell us anything yet.
Don't worry now. You'll be called hunters with...
there was a side quest involving him that has been scrapped in the final build of the game, where he would send us some kind of quest to find a sword or a katana or something like that, and after we find it he would kill us, or rather attempt to kill us, I guess, and betray us. So I guess that makes it pretty ironic that he's the one that talks about not betraying your clansmen. This here, I believe, is the iron... the giant set. Stone armor. If you remember these guys, we fought some of them before. Moss-covered armor of the Stone Knight, defender of the Darkwood Garden. The Stone Knight is a product of ancient magic, and although this armor is also imbued with magic, it's incredibly heavy. So they are most likely creations of God, what's the place called? Ulasil. Ulasil will be visiting Ulasil in the DLC, so we will talk about it a little more then. I'm hearing steps. Oh yeah, little mushroom guys. I still haven't forgotten Ash Lake, you motherfuckers. Oh, they actually have a backstab hitbox. I couldn't remember that. So, it kind of led us astray. Which I guess is the point, really. There is something I want to get here. I believe there's some kind of ember hidden in these forests I want to get. I guess we search for that real quick before we move on to the boss. Hey there, buddy. Yeah, I believe it's in the chest over there. Oh no. So, yeah, nothing really to talk about. Sorry about that. Oh, is he gonna hit us? Yep. Getting too greedy. Thought they could open the chest before he spanks us. Well, all's good as long as he doesn't kill us. Come on. Do the old 1-2. This is basically playing like playing Punch Out right now. Oh yeah, let's date this video so everybody knows how old this playthrough is. The Game Awards were this week and FromSoft announced a new title. Well, announced is a little much, I guess. It looks like it could be Bloodborne 2. It could just as well be anything else. I'm hearing steps. Oh, okay. Nothing to worry about. So the Enchanted Ember. Oh, this Enchanted Ember, a form of sorcery, is a vestige of the lost land of Ulasil. This is another hint that this forest has some link with Ulasil. Yeah, it's like a just look it up, but it's like a 30-second teaser where you see some kind of contraption moving about, but you really can't make out what it is. It could be a trick weapon. I would be excited if it is Bloodborne 2, but I would hope that they had learned the lesson with sequels, with Dark Souls 2 and 3 and stuff. It could also be a sequel of an older FromSoft IP, I guess. But nowadays they really are only known for Dark Souls and Bloodborne, which is kinda sad, I guess. Because they have also made Armored Core, which is pretty cool. And Kingsfield, which I never actually played, but I guess it looks alright. So upcoming is the boss. And yeah, I'll let it talk for itself. So, since there's a door, there most likely was a building here before. Which seems funny because seems weird because these hills around the arena don't seem like there was a building standing on top of it beforehand, if you know what I mean. Well, it's not that important. Let's just keep going. And here you can see a lot of swords and graves stuck into the ground, and which is really reminiscent of either a battlefield or a graveyard. And in the middle of the field you see this giant grave. And well, I already alluded to who this grave belongs to, so it's not gonna be that big of a surprise. If you actually come from behind the grave, you won't trigger the boss fight yet. So let's collect this item here first. The Hornet Ring, the 4th Night Ring. We now have the rings of all the 4 Knights of Gwyn. And the Hornet Ring belonged to Lord's Blade Kirin. By boosting critical attacks, its wearer can annihilate foes, as Kirin's dagger laid waste to Lord Gwyn's enemies. And Kirin, or Tsirin, or whatever, is actually the only lady out of these 4 knights. And the fact that we can find her ring and presumably her body. Whoa, get in. God, why ask? I thought we overcame the frame rate issues, but anyway. And this presumably is Kirin's body. And she stayed here at the Taurus' gravesite until she herself perished. At least that's what I get from it. Alright, since we are having some issues with the frame rate, I actually thought I fixed it. Like, if you remember the Great Hollow, the frame rate was terrible. I actually thought I fixed it because I played around with my recording settings again, and it seemed to work while I was testing. But we are gonna restart the capture real quick so we don't die during the boss fight because of this. So I will see you again in a second. And back we are. Let's hope for the best. The boss isn't that hard, but he can hit hard. Or she? I don't actually know. I always thought it was a boy, but who knows. It's 2017. I can't just assume people's gender anymore, so I'm sorry if I offended anyone with this comment. Alright, here we go! Boy, he starts off wild. And I really like the soundtrack during this battle, because it sounds kind of sad. And it is all the more sad if you played DLC beforehand. But we'll talk about it more after we play the DLC. Even still, it is a tragic battle. Because very clearly this wolf here trying to protect the grave of its former master, which we came to war for with reasons that we believe are noble and good. We want Artorias' ring to conquer the Abyss in New Londo. Which in itself doesn't sound like a bad plan. But it still means robbing Artorias' grave, and that's an idea that Sif does not like. Especially because Artorias himself fell victim to the Abyss. And maybe he doesn't just want to protect its master's grave, but also wants to protect us from the Abyss in extension by keeping us from accessing the wing which we need. Well, I mean, I guess we are undead, so he isn't really killing us if he defeats us. And also, I just really like its design, man. Like, it's such a simple design, but it's just... If you think of Dark Souls, you think of Great Grey Wolf Sith. It's just that memorable. Ah, come on, don't whiff. Yeah, and a lot of his attacks are actually reminiscent of, wow, of Artorias' moveset. Yes, they did Sif's moveset first, but still. I don't believe he has hit us yet. But he's trying his best. He's a good boy or girl. And yeah, he's such a great boss that even Dark Souls 2 and 3 tried to rip him off. Like in Dark Souls 2 you have the Royal Red Authority, which is Sif without a sword. And no, the Royal Red Authority is not a red. You can't tell me he's a red. He looks like a wolf. It's just a fucking thing. And then in Dark Souls 3 we have another wolf enemy, like, without a sword. And with a bit of a different moveset, but the scenery is pretty reminiscent of this one as well. It's clearly a callback to this battle. Yeah, and that's another... Oh yeah, he hit us. Finally. As he's starting to get weaker, he actually starts fumbling about and limping, which makes me really, really sad to kill him every time. But fortunately there is no way to spare him if you want to finish the game. Well, I guess you could use cheat engine, but I mean, legitimately. Damn, it just looks so sad. Let's put him out of his misery. Ah, suffering dogs. My one weakness. You did a good job, Sif. Bit of a rest. So we now have the... Where is it? The Covenant of Artorias. This ring symbolizes Knight Artorias' covenant with the Beast of the Abyss. Its wearer, like Artorias himself, can traverse the Abyss. Excuse me. Then Soul of Sif. Soul of Sif, the great grey wolf, wow, but a tongue twister, who guards the grave of Artorias the Abyss Walker. Special beings, yada yada. Use the Soul of Sif, who inherited the Divine Night Sword, to acquire a huge amount of souls, or to create a unique weapon. A unique weapon is a good joke. With this soul you can actually forge 3 weapons, or rather 2 weapons and 1 shield, I guess. Yeah, and I just really like the scenery here, this battlefield of warriors. And I guess the fact that there are other graves here means that the people who Sif has slain before us were buried by himself. As sort of a warrior tribute, I guess. Well, that's one interpretation. Maybe it is also a pilgrimage spot for Artorias fanboys, but I don't think that would work, because Sif wouldn't let them near his grave. Yeah, I think my first theory holds more water. That the Sif has buried all his victims here. Like a good boy. Alright, guess this episode is a bit on the shorter side than some others, but I think this is a good place to stop. And I'll see you again next episode, where we will explore the New London ruins. So until then, goodbye.